So 2 events ago, it wasn't about the iPhone. Last month's event wasn't about the iPhone either. Gee, we're in October now. Would you please make this one about the iPhone? Can you do that for us, please? Please, and now I can't find my, there it is. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mac to the Future GO Livecast here on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on the Facebooks and on the YouTubes. And I am joined, as I sometimes am, by Mr. Warren Sklar and Mr. David Ginsburg. And Warren Sklar, he's the guy in the middle, and David Ginsburg is the guy next to him. I'm Guy Serle. I'm over on the left. In case there is some question. Everybody just point. It's like the Brady Bunch.
That's Guy. That's Dave. This is me.
It's a story of a little live cast. Let's begin.
And Jelly behind you.
Oh yeah, and Jelly. Hello, Jelly. Everybody see Jelly? She's not. I don't usually have my cats in here with me, but with my wife out of town and like no one else to pay attention to them, they've been like super needy, just been like all over me. So it's like, okay, because I know if I had closed the door to the man cave to record the show, she would have been outside there just howling for like the entire. Now I wouldn't have heard her because I've had these things in, but just the thought of her with nowhere else to go and being so sad that she couldn't reach her favorite only person in the house, that I decided I would just let her join us this evening, and she'll probably, for the most part, stay right there behind me, unless she gets a wild hair up her ass and takes off.
I could get my dogs if you really want.
That's right.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Warren.
No animals here. I'm safe.
Yeah. So what do you got going on right now, Warren?
It's kind of work stuff, health things. But I am going to, so my wife and I and my son and my friend neighbors rented a very large house in North Carolina, Outer Banks, for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's off season, but it's a nice house. It's got, heated pool, a jacuzzi, and, game room. So we're going to go down for the week just to make it kind of like a away stay vacation kind of thing, somebody else's house. So that should be nice. We're going to drive down Saturday morning and drive back the following week. So pretty happy about that. Got a flu shot today. That's always exciting. Loving my car, my Tesla. It's,
you got a Tesla?
I did, and I'm playing with. I got some. I downloaded an app today. I could talk about it actually, but an app for that works with the Tesla, and it puts Siri shortcuts on the app.
Save it for tomorrow.
I'm just mentioning it, but I could say, hey, open trunk, and it will open up my trunk, or hey, come to me, and it's fun.
Probably not the best thing to do while you're on the highway.
No,
yeah. Don't open your trunk while you're in the highway.
And will you be driving this Tesla to the Outer Banks?
No, my wife doesn't want to. She's scared that we're gonna not find chargers and all that stuff. So we'll take her car. So it is what it is.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Dave, what about you? What are you up to?
Oh, work. Lots of work. End of year stuff. All kinds of fun stuff. It just never ends. And then
the fun never starts.
Then podcasts and all this other fun stuff.
Have you been doing other podcasts than this one?
Oh,
I cannot say Dave doing every day. Every day I log into my computer. I see Dave doing a podcast.
Oh, Mac Voices. That's the only other one I do. Oh, I'm sorry. The British Tech Network on Fridays. Yes, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, and then your own on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Then Chuck's on Tuesdays.
Well, I just mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. I actually joined I actually joined in this week.
No, I'm glad you did that. That was really, and Brittany and Kelly are just a blast. They're so fun.
Yeah. And of course, I had audio and video issues the whole time.
Because I never understood. I mean, you of all people who have like 90 mics sitting in your drawer, that's the source you picked to use to talk on a podcast.
Well, it was like not intentional. I had just gotten that secondary little monitor attached to my laptop. Yeah. And don't even ask me the name of it. It's a 15.6 inch monitor. You can connect it via USB-C. You can connect it via HDMI. You can connect it via mini display port. It's kind of cool and it looks really nice. And I was trying that, and I just happened to be on Facebook, and I saw that you guys had started up. So I real quick connected up my iPod Touch, and they just jumped in, and that was the microphone from the iPod Touch that I was using, and it really sounded not that good. But but it was still fun. Nobody made much fun of me, not much, or at least not while I was there. That's how that works. Okay. Somebody's chair is squeaking.
This guy.
I'm wanting to talk.
This person named Guy. You.
It's fine, me too.
I forgot. I've got my cat here. I can't make all the squeaky chair noises. She'll get upset. Okay, we're gonna jump right into it, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? Remember, you can make some noise and jump in with us, and all you got to do is go on over to StreamYard.com. That is not a hard link down there at the bottom. StreamYard.com/Facebook. Click OK to let StreamYard display your comments, and then you too can have the glorious comments right here on the Mac to the Future Livecast Go. So in quick takes, apparently there was no FDA approval required for Apple's blood oxygen level feature on the Apple Watch 6 because it's considered a wellness tool and not something that can diagnose or treat a medical condition. Well, couldn't you say that about like almost all of the various health related stuffs on the watch?
Well, I mean, the ECG, they had to get FDA approval for that one. But for this one, it wasn't necessary because I guess it's, like I said, it's more of a wellness tool than it is to actually diagnose something. So it's buyer beware. They put that disclaimer in, from the get-go, that this is not a replacement for getting for true blood oxygen level. Well, it's pretty gosh darn close.
I think the way I take it, it's something that would make somebody want to go to the hospital quickly would probably need FDA approval. So like if like if your watch is taking a measurement and says, you need to see the hospital, that probably needs FDA approval, where this blood oxygen thing probably is not that, but I don't think there's anything that's going to say, you're about to die with a blood oxygen detector, pretty much.
Well, if there is no oxygen in your blood, you're probably already dead. So there is that. Let's see. Apple can now display health information in the UK and Canada, but let's see, will require health providers to approve data to be stored on the phone. So I wasn't aware that the UK and Canada was a holdout for this.
I wasn't either. Funny that you just did that. I just now saw that pop up in my Twitter feed from Mac Observer, and I guess those two countries didn't allow it at first. But that's not surprising. Canada and UK tend to get things later from when Apple anything is to do with the iPhone, especially with carriers and products and stuff like that. So I'm not surprised.
And here's a story that was kind of a holdover from last night. iOS App Store gives Apple monopoly over approving iOS apps, according to the U.S. antitrust report, with Apple being compared to oil barons and railroad tycoons.
I had that app because I remember that debate from yesterday because you didn't have that in there originally. So I find that to be absolutely ludicrous. Oh, let's compare Apple to to an industry that was from the 19th century and early 20th century. I mean,
remember that's when most of those people were born. So
exactly. It's right.
You think I'm old? You think I'm old?
I'm right up there with you, buddy. You only got 5 years on me, so
yeah. But it's those guys. It's those guys going, yeah, those Apple
with their big cigars. Yeah, that oil baron.
Yeah. See, yeah.
Like you said, like railroad. We're going to compare the railroads when we moved goods around this country back in those early days of commerce and actually shipping things. How do you compare that? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, because they're stupid.
Yeah, it's legislators. What we expect.
Yeah. And we're, the election is coming up, so vote them all out. If somebody's already in there, just say no. Just like Nancy Reagan, just say no.
I mean, we're competing against the vice presidential debate right now, so you know that they're talking.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a huge audience. Everybody going, well, let's see. I can watch the vice presidential debate or watch 3 crazy people talk about Mac stuff on Facebook.
I made my choice, obviously.
I think it's a winner. I think it's a total winner.
That's why they got. That's why you can watch it later, recording.
Yeah, I almost considered
us or the vice presidential debate.
The vice presidential.
Yeah,
we're here.
Okay. Yeah, we're live. They're not live. Well, it's live-ish, I guess. Facebook is so angry, and we have to say this quietly so that we don't get kicked off, because iOS won't let them track people's phone and computer usage without their knowledge and consent. Kind of says it all. Yeah. So with iOS 14 and iPadOS 14, and I'm assuming coming up soon with Safari and the Mac OS. Actually, I think that's kind of where it started too, wasn't it? Was Safari with the Mac OS? Basically, if anybody wants to track you as far as adding cookies and all the rest of that, they first have to get your consent. So you have to physically go and say, yes, I approve you seeing everything that I do on the internet. And Facebook is mad because that's like where probably 3/4 of their clientele use them for their business. And they suck. Everybody just that's the theme for tonight. Everything just sucks. Okay. Except for Warren's Tesla. Warren's Tesla is wonderful.
No, that is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome.
And do me a favor when you get the chance, send me some info on who you use down there in the Outer Banks. We haven't gone in so long. I don't even know who to trust down there anymore.
Okay, but I'll let you know.
It's a place I want to visit someday.
Oh, Outer Banks is awesome. We used to go there. Here's the tangent. We used to get like 2 of those big 5 to 8 bedroom homes down there. And so the whole family would all just kind of gather in Nags Head. And it actually drove my mother crazy because we lived in Fort Lauderdale. So we were like 3 miles from the beach. But with the way my father drove, it would take us 3 days to get to Nags Head. So, and my mother would be like, we live like practically across the street from the ocean, and we're going to drive 3 days to go to the beach. Good choice. I always liked it though. So anyway, last one. Apple adding the iPhone 5C to the vintage products list on October 31st, which means all you holdouts still using your 5C. And that was my wife up until
that's not the 5C. It was the color ones, with the different colors.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to be getting much in the way of updates after October.
Well, you
31st.
You weren't anyway already. Now they're just making vintage, so you won't be able to get it even fixed if you want to continue to use it.
It'll be a bad phone. All right, on to the main stories. Stupid phone. Everything's dumb. That'll be. If I hadn't already put in a title for the show, that would be what it is this week. Everything is stupid. It's all dumb. All right, main dumb stories this week. The dumb HomePod Mini to be a dumb thing. The story from 9 to 5 Mac. A regular Apple HomePod for $299 gets you 1 speaker with some smarts built in. You can ask all the usual S-Lady questions, and connect it to your Apple TV, but not to any other devices or TV outputs. But that's a lot of money, nearly $600 for something resembling stereo sound for what a HomePod does. Rumor has it that a HomePod Mini is on the way and will be announced at the next Apple event on the 13th, but will bring a lower price to bring more people to the table. Or is the HomePod a line that is just so outside of Apple's core business that it is doomed, I say, to failure? Let's start off with Dave.
Well, I don't know if it's doomed. I mean, I don't think it's doing as I don't think it's doing as well as Apple expected it to. But I think I think what Apple's trying to do is, I mean, already as I mentioned yesterday when we were on the other show, that with Google coming out with the Nest mini speaker, which is $100, and I haven't heard it, but people are saying it's got good sound. But now you could buy two of these minis, create a pair. I mean, I have a pair of HomePods, but I didn't pay $600 for both of them. So, but they, yeah, I mean, they can be had for $200. So the prices have come down depending on where you find them. But I think the mini itself is going to be much more affordable, and you're going to see more and more people want to buy these speakers and get good quality sound. And then that's the goal. You want to have really good quality sound, and in a place that, compared to these crappy Amazon Echoes that have just the worst sound in the world.
Yeah.
At least you're gonna. I mean, we're hoping we'll find. Obviously, we'll find out next week if this mini speaker is going to be of any worth as far as sound goes.
Okay, how about you, Warren?
Yeah, I have two of them, the HomePods now, and I honestly don't use them that much, to be honest with you.
Any particular reason why you don't use them, or?
Well, we have the Google and we have the Amazon too. And as far as asking questions, we've all just naturally learned not to ask the HomePod anything because the Amazon always answers better. So that's what we talk to. And then as far as like listening to music, it's we don't listen to that much music, and I would love to be able to connect it to my TV to listen to it that way, but you can't. But
you're talking about the HomePod, or you're talking about your other ones?
The HomePod, you can't connect it to your TV unless you're watching Apple TV, and that's kind of a pain. But like what Dave was saying with the sound with some of the other devices, it seems like anything like $60 or less has really bad tinny sound. Once you start getting into like the $100 range for the Amazon stuff and the Google stuff, it's mid-range, and I think a lot of people are fine with that. The $99 the original Amazon, not the mini one, it sounds okay, and I think that's the one we have, like the look like a cone tower kind of thing. So my wife will use that instead of the Siri, and she can't tell the difference. So it makes sense for Apple to come out with something cheaper like that, and hopefully it'll get more people to use Siri.
Yeah, this is kind of reminiscent of the discussion that we were having last night on Chuck's show.
Right.
I guess in the days of putting together a really high quality, high fidelity audio system seems to be pretty much behind most folks. They're just seem to be just fine with compressed music and compressed sound, regardless of what the source is for the audio. And they just don't seem to care that much, or as much as they did, way back in the day. So I guess if you go by audio quality, now I've never heard a HomePod, and I haven't heard any of these other ones either. But just based on what I've seen online, the HomePod apparently sounds the best. But again, when you consider the source of the music that most people are listening to these days, I'm just wonder if it really matters. unless you have money to burn or something.
Well, I could tell you one thing, and I agree with Lauren with this. I mean, it really is it's kind of crappy that Apple can't make it easier just to sync with other devices. It's not Bluetooth true. So even when we do the pair, I have the pair here. It's not a true pair. Like a Mac, you can only play it on one HomePod. You can't play it on both. They don't allow it. The software isn't set that way. I've also got comparisons because, of course, I've got my Sonos Home speaker, which is, that one's even more expensive. It's like $400, which of course I got for free for my anniversary for work. But the cool thing too is I can now actually when I do AirPlay from my iPhone Apple Music, I actually can play all three of them in tandem and be able to adjust the sounds between all of them. So you do have some flexibility when it comes to the HomePod when it comes to sound and listening to music. But you're right. You're kind of limited to using only AirPlay and not Bluetooth. I mean, at least the Sonos Home is at least able to have Bluetooth. I mean, because you got a lot of lag too. You go like, let's say you want to watch a YouTube video and you play it on the HomePod through AirPlay. There's a lag. There's a delay of the sound in the video. Well,
I thought the software took care of that.
Not on the HomePods. At least I hadn't recognized it. When the Sonos, if I have it hooked up through the network through AirPlay, then same thing happens. But if I connect to it directly to Bluetooth, then there's no lag at all when it comes to video. Anyway, music doesn't matter because you're just you're playing the source, you're listening, and that's the end of it. So.
Okay. Anything else on this one?
I'm good.
Okay. Last thing to talk about tonight. Is this next week or the week? Yeah, this is next
week from yesterday.
So next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday.
Yes.
There's going to be another Apple event. It's called High Speed. And most likely, the new iPhones will finally, probably, maybe, be announced at this event on the 13th. Now, the iPhone 12 should be announced at the upcoming Apple event called High Speed on the 13th. The iPhone 12 is expected to introduce 4 models. And this is the part that I didn't really get. A 5.4-inch mini.
Why not?
5.4-inch mini. That's even smaller than my SE. My SE is like 4.7 inches.
So it's not smaller. It's bigger.
So it's bigger.
The mini is bigger.
The mini's bigger than
the mini's bigger than the SE.
Right. The original SE and the 4 and the 4S were 4.7.
4 inches.
Yes.
No, they were the original SE was the size of the 5, wasn't it?
The 5, right. And the 5S.
Right.
Okay.
Which was small.
Was a 4-inch. Yeah.
It wasn't 4.
All right. So
4.
besides
7.
the 5.4-inch somewhat mini, a 6.1-inch regular and Pro model, and a 6.7-inch Pro Max, that's a tremendous phone.
No, it's going to be bigger than that one. They said.
What do you guys think is going to happen with the iPhone SE, which is smaller than even the mini?
Oh.
Now, you think it's going to go away?
The regular SE is not as bigger, is it not?
No, the SE is 4.7 inches.
But that's what the mini's going to be.
No, the mini is going to be 5.4 inch.
Let's see. We got the internet. How big?
What
is the
iPhone SE? iPhone SE
screen. SE has a 4.7-inch screen.
Yeah.
The original SE had a 4-inch screen.
Right. That's what I said.
So SE
it's smaller than the mini.
Right. So what's the question? The SE will still be there.
Right. But I just think it's weird that an iPhone that they're calling the mini is larger than the iPhone SE. That just confuses me.
The SE, I don't think any of these are going to have home buttons. I think that's going to be the difference. And I think the SE will still be the one with the home button.
So that'll be like that'll be the standard carrier for old school tech. Will be the SE.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Now all these models should also have the A14 processor,
right,
and are reported to all have OLED screens. The other thing is Apple could use this event to show off its newest Macs as well as AirTags, which this is like the Apple car. Everybody talks about it, but we never see anything. A smaller HomePod, which we were talking about earlier. A new iPad Pro, which I don't think is going to happen.
I don't either.
And then the over-the-ear Studio AirPods, which is another product.
Which also was they also said that they've dumped all of their third-party headphones and speakers,
chargers,
and they're not selling them in the Apple stores anymore. So that was interesting.
That's pretty imminent, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty imminent.
If you ask me, it's going to be the phone, just the phones and the headphones.
So you think Apple is removing all of the headphones from the Apple stores?
They already have.
Yeah.
There was a story about it. Yeah.
So you can't. You can only buy AirPods or Beats at this point at the Apple store.
Any Apple branded products.
That's in a time when there's a lot of scrutiny over Apple and its selling processes. Is that necessarily a good idea to remove all other kinds of third-party devices from your store other than the ones that you yourself sell?
It's their store. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
I know. I don't know. It just seems like they're
I can't go to McDonald's.
Raspberries in the face of.
I can't go to McDonald's and order a Whopper.
Well, you could. You just wouldn't get one.
Well, yeah.
You get a Big
I
Mac.
walk into an Apple store and ask for a pair of short headphones, and they'll say we don't have them. Yeah.
Short or Bose. All right. So let's start with Warren. Warren, what do you think is going to be announced here other than the phones?
So the way I'm hearing it's going to be the 4 phones. So the mini is going to be obviously the small one. The 6.1, there's going to be one that's going to be the same as the 10R, and the 11, the regular 11 is going to be the progression of that one, probably with a bunch of colors like they've been doing. And then the 6.1 Pro and the bigger one will be like the 11 Pro and Pro Max. So what I'm hearing is the Pros might not be available until next month, so they might talk about it, but they won't be out until later, whereas the non-Pros might be available sooner. Then there's a whole talk about 5G, where they all might have 5G, but there's 2 types of 5G. There's millimeter and something else, where one is long range, but not really much faster than LTE, and the other one's condensed to very limited areas, but is very fast. So they might
isn't that 5GE that AT&T was pushing?
No, 5G was just another frequency of LTE.
Stupid branding. That
it wasn't
5G.
Okay, well, I mean, it's kind of a difference that makes no difference if it's a longer range 5G that isn't much faster than LTE.
It's a different technology. It's not 5G. I mean,
that technology was not true 5G. AT&T was ridiculed for it too, for even doing it.
Well, and rightfully so,
because it wasn't.
It all has to do with what band it's on, and it wasn't on the 5G band. So,
right. These all phones will be on the dead band. It's just going to be a matter of which there's a higher band, mid band. I mean, it'll all depend.
Right, and the one that has the really fast speeds is like maybe 1% of the country has the availability. It's like limited to right now stadiums. Some I think a Giant Stadium has it now. So if you have that, you get super fast speeds, broadband speeds with it. Right. So I'm not that excited about that really, because
who's going to stadiums anyway?
Yeah, and from what I'm hearing, the regular 5G in a lot of places is not that much faster than where it is now. If the speed's the same but the service is better on 5G, I'd be happy with that. Just getting better signal, because that's a problem right now. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. We're not getting to the bands. Other than the phones, I think the headphone studios are going to come because of the taking the other competitors off the shelf. and possibly the AirTags, because they've been kind of talking about that, and somebody said the logo of the event kind of looked like one. And that's it. They're not going to do anything with Macs, and they're not going to do anything with iPads, and that's it.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, I echo pretty much what Warren's saying. I think it's possible they might say something about Big Sur, maybe because it's getting close to release. I mean, it's on beta 9 now, so it's very possible something would get announced for that. There were some rumblings of potential that where they're at with the Apple Silicon, so I mean, there's also that possibility. But 100% on the iPhones. I mean, we're ready. Kind of a bummer that I think if that happens, I think it's pretty confident it will. Is the Pro models will not come out for another month. I mean, people have been itching to get that as it is anyway. AirTags for sure, and the AirPods Studio, no brainer there too because of that. So I mean, I think they're really going to highlight the iPhone now. I mean, that's what people were waiting for. The last event was the iPad. And all the other services. But it's also possible they may announce when the bundle will be released too. I'm thinking that was supposed to be in the fall. We're in the fall now, so
yeah,
they may mention that too.
I would like to see at least an announcement on the Apple Macs with Silicon, where when they're going to be released, what it's going to be. And even if there's not one that's not coming out until January, but just give us a roadmap, of what it is that's coming. And I'm the thing I'm really kind of looking forward to is the fourth quarter results that's coming out on October 29th, because I'm wondering if they will address how many Macs were sold this quarter as compared to the previous quarter. Right. And I'm going to guess that year over year it dropped just based on the processor change. But then they may not announce individual sales because they've kind of started getting away from that.
They don't really do that.
Yeah. And that's too bad, because frankly, I thought that was pretty useful information. And I don't know. I think everyone seems to just be kind of holding their breath to see what's going to happen between the political uncertainty and the tech uncertainty that's going on right now. I think everyone just wants some good news. So that's really what I'm looking for from Apple. Give us some good news. Give us something new and shiny that'll take our breath away and just make us think about something other than just, what a horrible crap show that's going on right now with pretty much everything else.
I'm not excited at all, really, for the phones. I mean, I would love to be proven wrong at this point, but I haven't heard of any kind of rumor that really excites me that much about it. Normally it does. So I'm hoping.
Well, you got that great big phone in your car.
That's right. Well, I got the whole tablet in there, but but the Silicon Mac, I'm excited for that. So that's what
I am too. I don't know if I would get a first gen.
Oh, I'm totally getting it. Yeah.
But the Silicon Mac.
Oh, I'm not getting it.
I'm totally getting it. Can't wait.
I know once they come out, I will be spending a lot more time in Apple stores than I have been in like the last couple of years. 'Cause, I used to get so excited to go into an Apple store. Yeah. If they let us.
You got to make an appointment.
Yeah. And it just seems like the last couple of years, I've bought my phones online. I've bought my tablets online or, through someone else. And it's like, unless there's some kind of problem with the device that I can't resolve myself, I haven't been going to Apple stores. I want a reason to go back into an Apple store. And I think the Apple Silicon Macs will be that reason. And I'm looking forward to it. All right. Well, that is, unless either one of you guys have something else, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has joined us this evening. We really, really do appreciate the fact that you take the time to come and join us here on the Mac the Future Livecast. And starting with Warren, I think again, Warren, if people wanted to contact you in some place other than North Carolina, how would they do it?
I'll be in my Tesla.
He'll be in his Tesla.
Yeah.
And that would be
Tesla has an
Warren
email
at
address,
Tesla. Yeah, Warren at Tesla.com.
I did a turnpike. I got a recorder or something, but I'm on that Pennsylvania turnpike almost every day now with that thing, and I'm doing great. The trucks and everything. So, yeah. Anyways, Facebook. I'm selling Facebook, so that's where you find me. Mac to the Future.
Okay.
Mac to the Future Facebook page.
All right, Dave.
In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. Tomorrow we have Adam Christensen coming on the show with Warren.
Make sure you tell him the guy said hi, and you got to say it like that too.
So yeah, one of the original Mac casters on the Mac Cast. And you'll find me occasionally on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network. I just started doing that recently, and of course with Chuck Joyner on the Mac Voices Live. I've been pretty regular there, and
it's usually Tuesday night, right?
It's every Tuesday night. Yeah, I'm gonna have to miss next week because I have iPhone special interest group to attend to for my Apple use group. But beyond that, if you want to reach me on Twitter, my Twitter is DaveG65.
And all of this will be in the show notes in whatever site or way that you consume this show afterwards. If you'd like to get a hold of me, my email address is guy@mymac.com. You can find me on the Twitters. I am Mac Parrot, and I am also I'm also VertShark over there on the Twitters. VertShark.com is where you can go to find all of the audios and videos that I do. Wow, that cat is like freaking out. You can also go on over to the YouTubes and look up VertShark there. It is a playlist, and all of the audios and videos are there. No, not the audios, but the videos are there. And while you are there, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And if you missed it the first time, it's like, share, subscribe. Over there on the YouTubes, that would be just lovely. And of course, I do the MyMac.com podcast nearly every single weekend with Mr. Gazmaz, as well as this little crazy thing called Guy's Daily Drive that I do in my car while driving once or twice a week. And it's nuts, and I shouldn't do it, but I still do.
It's a lot easier with a self-driving car.
It probably would be. It most definitely would be easier that way.
I actually thought about doing it because it's like,
I was going to say, maybe you can do that and be an autopilot.
What else? Yeah, I could go probably 3/4 of my commute to work with the autopilot. It's awesome.
Well, when I do it, driving is job one. And I say that a lot. Driving is job one because I don't want to die doing this silly stuff. That is going to do it for us.
That would
tonight.
be entertainment. That would get a lot of likes. Not likes.
It'd be like, and there was the end of Guy. There was the end of Guy right there. Yep. So thank you all once again for joining us here on the Mac Future Livecast Go. We will see you hopefully next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. Just come on and visit us. So say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.